In this video, we're going to be adding a user into the Moodle version 2.0 system. This is going to be a little bit different than the 1.9 you've been seeing. So to add a user, you first have to be logged in as your user ID. I already am that, and my user ID is a system administrator ID. Then go to Site Administration, Users, and Accounts. You'll have a couple of account options. So you want to click on Add a New User. Once you click on Add a New User, an Add User screen will come up. Give the user a username. I sometimes use first and last initial, or I'll use first name dot last name. Come up with a standard and stick to it. Sometimes we use our campus initials in front of it. I'm going to use an authentication method of manual accounts. And I'm going to give it a password. And my password is going to be change me in all small lowercase letters. And I'm also going to click the force password change. The reason I'm using change me is this signifies to the Moodle system, even if I forget to force the password change, that it will force the change. Now, if you have a specific user that wants a specific password, or if you use another password, for example, like the last four of the social for a student, you can use that as well. Just remember to force a password change, because you don't want the responsibility of ever having all the passwords on the system. We're going to give the user's first name, last name, and an email address is an absolute must. So I'm just going to use, in this case, a test email address that I know exists. Now, email display. It's not a required field, but you want to decide on how you want the email addresses to be seen by everyone. I only want other course members to see email addresses, so that's the default on the system. Email address is enabled, which means that the system will automatically send messages, and it uses an HTML format. I am nice to users normally, and I say change it to a digest form for email type. In other words, when they're posting in a forum, do you want them to receive all the emails individually, or the digest form, which groups them all together in one email, usually once a day, and it sends it? They can still reply by clicking on the reply and going through the message. Forum auto-subscribe. We have it set to yes when I post, subscribe to me to the forum. And forum tracking, I always wanted to highlight new posts for me. That's something I'm planning on changing in a system default. When editing text, I want to use the HTML editor. Most of the browsers now use it. Ajax and JavaScript. I don't normally use JavaScript, but if you want to use JavaScript, you can say yes, use advanced web features. And in this case, the user does not have a screen reader. City and town is required. I'm just going to throw my city and state in here, and country is also required. That allows us to set locations. If you want to set its time zone in a preferred language, you can. And you can give a description, like maybe a department name. In this case, I'm going to say test user 1. I normally don't add pictures for new users. I'll let the users do that on their own. And again, some of this, now department, phone, mobile, phone. If I have that information, like institution, I'll put it in there, but it's not required. So just remember, the required items on the form are the one with the user names, the little asterisks, and they're colored red. So once I'm done, I'm going to click Update Profile. We hope that the user saves. It didn't like the password, so we're going to give it another password. Okay, because it wants one digit, upper, lower, and non-alphanumeric. So what I'm going to do is change it to change me 123, and I'm going to put pound after it. Again, any mistakes on the form will fill out automatically for you. So I'm going to click Update Profile. Now when I go back, it automatically takes me back to my user list, and my test user is there. So adding a user is a matter of going to Site Administration, Users, Accounts, Add New User.